The royal court, a symbol of nobility, of chivalry, and of political power. But beneath the veneer of etiquette and civility lies the uglier side of the court, where schemes and plots are whispered in dark corners, where daggers and poison are the preferred methods of moving up in the hierarchy, where honor and integrity fall to the wayside in the place of cleverness and ambition, where the lords indulge in their every desire of gluttony, of lust, and of greed. In this grand show of intrigue and decadence stands the greatest showman of them all, one who has suffered at the hands of the courtiers, but now can see through their fake smiles. He is a fool, a trickster, a clown. He is the Jester. Serpentine was the court fool. Prior to this position, he may have been an entertainer for children, but he chose, or was chosen, to elevate his performance to the palace of the local lord. His duties involved entertaining the nobles and royalty who came to court. With his sharp wit, skill with musical instruments, and singing voice, he could entertain the masses. Unfortunately, the king or lord he was jesting for was a cruel tyrant who would abuse Serpentine for his own amusement. During his time at court, he would suffer many indignities and torment. Poisoning, tortures, plots against his life were common occurrences. But why? What would they gain from killing this clown? Well, maybe he witnessed something at court he wasn't supposed to. Maybe a certain courtier or faction tried to convince him to scheme with them. Maybe he exposed some of them to the tyrant in hopes of currying favor. Or maybe it was just pure sadism and the rush people get from abusing their power. But it would all reach a finale one evening at a dinner party. Serpentine began to play his lute for the tyrant. He sang a song recounting all the pain and humiliation he endured in the court to the amusement of the attendees. But once the ballad was finished, the jester grabbed a knife and cut off the tyrant's hand. He then proceeded to slaughter everyone in the palace, before he took a final bow and walked off into the world. He kept the tyrant's finger bone as a trophy, and his tasting cup, although I wonder if this is the same cup. It doesn't look similar to the one used by the tyrant in the comic, and it almost makes me wonder if this is another tyrant's cup. That maybe after this court, the jester left for another one, to join them and to butcher them all. He boasts a plethora of knowledge on poisons, and claims to no longer feel its effects, although his stats suggest otherwise. But it could be that he used that cup to poison some of the other tyrants, or maybe he was the poison tester for the tyrant we see in the comic. His reasons for traveling to the state aren't exactly clear. Based on his bark, it sounds like he's here for money, but I do like to think that he has more depth than that. He could be an avenger for all those who have suffered at the hands of the aristocrats, and the hamlet has suffered its fair share of problems from a certain local man. Or maybe he's just insane and has a death wish. Along with his ability to see through lies and a supposed immunity to poison, his time at court also gave him severe depression. Being the plaything for cruel men and women took its toll on his mental health, to the point that he may pray for death and simply wish to take his own life. And should he become irrational, his mind will finally break, and all he can do is laugh. It's tragic, really. A man who only wished to entertain, to make people laugh and smile, is unable to himself. His time at court made him jaded. He was tormented by his lord, till he could stand it no more, and finally took back his freedom. Some people will do anything to escape their lives, to escape their masters, to be liberated from their cage, even if it means sacrificing their own hand to to be free.